Be so rooted that no one can shake your peace. Have you ever noticed how one text can ruin your entire day? Or how one person's silence can make you question your entire worth? How someone showing up or not showing up can shift your mood, your focus, and even your peace. It's wild how much power we give people over our emotional state. It's like our happiness is on a lease. Like our self-worth is tied to whether or not someone responds, shows up, stays, or leaves. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if you could be so grounded in who you are, so rooted in your own identity, your own energy, your own peace, that no one's presence or absence can shake you? Because that right there, that's emotional freedom. That's inner peace, and that's power. Most people are emotionally dependent without even realizing it. And if we're being honest, most of us have tied our emotional state to people we can't control. Someone gives us attention and we feel seen. They ignore us, we spiral. They compliment us, our confidence skyrockets. They criticize us, our self-worth is shattered. And we normalize this. We call it caring. But here's the thing. Attachment is not love. Dependency is not connection. And letting people become the thermostat for your peace, that's not healthy. That's a prison. Being rooted means you don't move with every gust of wind. And I know that sounds like a little cheesy, but imagine a tree. The wind comes, storms hit, seasons change, but the tree doesn't panic every time a leaf falls. Why? Because it's rooted. It knows who it is. It doesn't seek validation from the breeze. It stands tall, grounded, unwavering, regardless of what's happening around it. And that's what you need to be. Not rigid, not cold, but centered. So whether someone walks into your life or walks out, your peace doesn't go with them. You don't fall apart. You don't question your worth. You don't beg for closure or approval because you've already built that within yourself. And here's how it shows up when you're not grounded in yourself. You overthink every interaction. You replay texts. You overanalyze people's tone. You overthink timing. You overthink meaning. You chase people who are inconsistent. You're overly reactive to rejection. You mold yourself to be accepted and to fit into crowds. You're afraid to be alone, even if it's for a little while. If any of those sound familiar, that's not you being too emotional. That's you depending on others to regulate emotions you haven't fully learned to anchor yourself. It's not shameful, but it is a sign that it's time to grow roots, really deep ones. But I need to make something very clear. Being rooted doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you cut people off, stop loving, or shut down. It means you stop giving them the keys to your peace. You still connect with people, you still feel, you still love deeply, but you're not shaken by who stays or who leaves because you've built something bigger beneath the surface. You've built inner security, self-awareness, emotional regulation, unshakable identity. So you're not needy, you're not desperate, and you're not performing to be chosen because you've already chosen yourself. And when you're not rooted, love becomes a transaction. You start saying stuff like, if you love me, I'll feel worthy. You think to yourself, if they stay, I'll feel whole. If they show up, I'll feel okay. But when you're grounded in who you are, love becomes a gift, something that you give freely, not something you require in order to feel whole. You can love someone deeply without needing them to complete you, without expecting them to rescue your insecurities. That's what mature love looks like. And that's what self-respect feels like. When you're rooted, you don't chase, you attract, you allow, you align. You don't beg people to stay. You don't argue for your value. You don't prove you're worthy. You already know you are. And that kind of energy, that's magnetic. Because when you truly believe you're enough, you stop auditioning. You stop chasing greener grass. You stop needing people to validate you. You trust that what's meant for you will come, and what's not will make space for something even better. Now here's what you must understand. People will leave. That's life. They will change. They'll shift. Some will disappear without warning. Some will love you and still walk away. Some will misunderstand you no matter how hard you try. Some were just passing through your life to teach you something. That's not failure. That's not rejection. That's life. But when you're rooted, you don't crumble when these moments come. You may feel pain. You might grieve. You may even miss them. But your identity, your peace, your joy, that all stays because your foundation was never built on them. It was built on the peace you have created for yourself. And the thing about peace is, it's not a place you visit, it's a home you build. And just like a home, you don't let everybody walk through the door with muddy shoes and bad energy. When you're rooted, you protect your peace. You set boundaries unapologetically. You say no without guilt. You remove yourself from drama. You don't explain your standards to people who benefit from you having none. Because peace isn't just a feeling, it's a lifestyle. And once you've experienced real peace, you stop negotiating it for temporary company. Now, let's talk about when people go silent. When they stop calling, stop texting, when they start ghosting, when they start drifting. When these things happen, do you know what that is? It's information. It's not an attack on your worth. It's not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's not a wound you need to chase or heal by fixing them. It's just clarity. And when you're rooted, you don't spiral when people go quiet. You don't panic when the energy shifts. You receive the message, you adjust, and you continue to water your own peace. The only person who owes you consistency is you. You need to stop outsourcing emotional stability to inconsistent people. They text back and you're calm. They don't and you feel anxious. They show up, you feel worthy, and when they flake, you feel invisible. That cycle, it ends when you decide that you are your own anchor, your own source, your own healer, your own hype. People can enhance your peace, right? But they can't be the source of it. That's your job. And when you own that job, you become untouchable. Don't ever confuse loneliness with being unrooted. Sometimes we think, if I feel lonely, maybe I'm not as rooted as I thought. But here's the truth. Loneliness isn't weakness. It's part of the journey inward. Sometimes growth is quiet. Sometimes healing requires isolation. Sometimes becoming rooted means removing distractions long enough to actually hear yourself again. So if you're in that season right now where people are disappearing, things feel still, and you're learning to sit with yourself, that's not regression. That's the roots digging deeper. Stay with it. Now let me get back to the bigger picture for a second. This entire conversation, it's not just about not caring what people think. It's really about something deeper. Emotional freedom. The ability to feel deeply, but not ruled by emotion. Love fully, but not lose yourself in it. The ability to stay open, but not be shaken. To be present with people, but never dependent on them to feel whole. That's what being rooted gives you. You still care, you still feel, you still love, but your peace, that's homegrown. And no one can take it unless you hand it to them. And here's the bottom line. When you're truly rooted in yourself, your values, your vision, your healing, your truth, your whole, with them or without them, celebrated or overlooked, surrounded or solo, you carry your peace with you. You wake up with it. You protect it like it's sacred because it is. And the more rooted you become, the more you'll realize how rare that kind of peace is and how worth it is for that journey and for you to get there. I'll leave you with this before I go. The world will always be chaotic. People will come and go. Emotions will rise and fall. But your job in life is to be the tree, not the leaf. Don't be tossed around by every breeze of emotion or opinion. Don't attach your worth to who stays or who applauds. Don't sacrifice your peace to keep people close. Stand tall, grow deep, stay rooted, because the deeper your roots, the higher you rise, and the less power anything or anyone has to shake you. If this moved you or stirred your soul in any way, I sent daily emails with the mindset shifts and the real talk you need to keep building the life you actually want. And if you are serious about actually changing instead of just thinking about it, hit the link below and get my emails. No fluff, no toxic motivation, just pure value and inspiration so that you can lock in, stay focused, and become the best version of yourself. All for free. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, stay humble, be blessed, and keep going.